I cannot stop thinking about that movie, Professor Marston and the Wonder Women.
Doesn't that come out October 13th?
Essentially tells the tale of how the comic book Wonder Woman came to be.
It follows 3 characters, Professor Marston, his wife Elizabeth, and a TA named Olive.
Now they all end up in a relationship, and it really just shows polyamory inside and out, and of course how that came to inspire a comic book that is known and beloved by everybody around the world. I thought it was fascinating, and I left that theater a wreck.
Yeah, she cried at the end.
I didn't just cry at the end. I bawled my eyes out. I so cried at the end of that movie, and I couldn't even really tell you why, because it was a happy ending.
I mean, it was a story that showed you how somebody or how people would end up in a relationship that is non-traditional, like we have. So, I mean, and it shared it in a positive way instead of just bashing it.
First and foremost, I gotta ask you point blank. We've never really discussed polyamory before. We are in an open relationship. Hold on though, before we go any further, let's properly define polyamory. The word polyamory is based on the Greek and Latin words for many loves. A polyamorous person is somebody who is open to having more than one romantic relationship at a time. Polyamory is defined by informed consent of all participants. If everyone doesn't know they ain't the only one, then it definitely ain't poly. Polyamory is an acknowledgement of the simple fact that relationships do not come in one size fits all. Those in polyamorous relationships reject the starvation model of love. That is that you only have a limited amount of love, and if you give your love to one person, that means someone else is losing out. They also reject the scarcity model of love. That is that true love is rare and can only be shared with 1 out of 6 billion people at a time. On the contrary, many believe that for them, multiple relationships can enrich their ability to be loved and to love others.
I think for me, it's not something that I'm interested in. I think that it doesn't feed me, you know. I think what we have is great, but adding someone into that could only make things a little bit more rocky or a little bit more unsure. You know, it's a lot of weight just keeping 2 people at evenly yoked. Adding someone else into that could just make it, you know, a little more difficult and unnecessary. If you end up into something like that, I get it. But I wouldn't go looking for that for me, the way I'm built. What about you?
I don't have any fear-based projections on it, like, oh, it wouldn't work out or it would be complicated. I just feel like I'm really happy with what we have right now. And it took us a while to find this space together. It took me a while to find someone like yourself who I could share this kind of trusting relationship with. And there's no part of me that feels like, oh, but there's still something left unsatisfied. But if I was in a relationship, or we did get to a place in a relationship where I'm like, there's still a part of me that feels unsatisfied, maybe I would consider polyamory. But I got it. I definitely got it. Do you think you're capable of loving more than one person at a time?
It would be foolish of me to limit love to one person. Everything that I've learned about love, how it's not necessarily magic and it's very scientific, it would be foolish of me to think that you can't love more than one person.
Yeah. I feel like in my experience, I think I'm capable of loving more than one person at a time, but the way that I love you like a family member, I love you like a romantic partner, I love you like a sexual partner, I love you like a business partner. So the multiple ways that I love you and what we have built as a dynamic, I think could be very difficult, even just time-wise. Forget emotions, just like semantics of, do I have enough me to go around in addition to my family, my friends, and everything else? That's kind of part that trips me up about it. What about a relationship that was me, you, and another dude? Hey, Elliot.
Oh, hey, guys. I like what you got going on.
Oh,
here.
thank you.
That's bad.
It's hypothetical, Elliot. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? He's not really here. He's just kind of here.
Yeah.
But what would you feel like if it was another dude?
I don't think it would work.
Okay, put it this way. From now on, you never have to building this bed. You have a partner who does it with you. Every time that we have a lot of groceries, you don't want to do by yourself, the dude will come and help with it. And you could call a friend, but I just mean like there would be a second. You want to play Call of Duty?
I don't need that.
You could have somebody who plays with you.
I don't need that. I have the online. They can play over at their home. You know what I mean? They can still be involved. I don't have to be friends with the people you're in relationships with. You know what I mean?
So you think just by virtue of you because you would be competing for me, you would feel like you were competing.
Well, there's already a natural competition already, just in normal life. But I know that it has nothing to do with you why it would get along. I just wouldn't even want to live with another dude, just be homies with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I can understand doing it, you know, when you're in your college or your early 20s, but as you get older, you're like, you don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? It's not really something that would probably work from just a alpha standpoint. You know what I mean?
So even as a roommate, you don't have a desire to have a dude in this space?
Nah.
Okay.
If I'm not living with you, I'd rather be living alone.
All right. Well, that's that. Sorry, Elliot. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Well.
So, what about a relationship with you, me, and another woman?
Like Janae?
Yeah, like hypothetical Janae.
Oh, hey, hypothetical Janae, what's up? Nice to. Oh, I was going for a high five. See, it doesn't matter. This never really happened anyways. You could just do your own thing over there. It's cool. Yeah. Whenever I've had an experience living with other women, even in terms of roommates, it's never worked out well. I'm not sure if that's a me thing. It probably is a me thing. So that would be my fear with that. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it. I feel like it would be a lot to juggle.
But would it be kind of nice for you?
Of course. of course, yes. But at the same time, like, it's hard to keep a balance between two people. Adding another person, I can only imagine it being a little bit even more difficult, keeping a balance between three people. It seems like a lot of heavy lifting, and I bet you that the payoff is great at the end, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It seems like an extra thing to like throw on your back.
See, I think that it would actually be pretty simple with three people, because when one person isn't satisfying your needs, you can just rely on the other, and the two of you guys can work together to help that other person if they do have extra need at that time. My thing though is I love quiet time in the home, and I feel like with two women, it would never be quiet. There will always be some chatting going on. So that's probably wrong. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. Based on the movie and when I watched Elizabeth and Olivia's relationship together and how they really just kept up the household, and they had an incredible household and they raised beautiful kids, and the end of the movie when the two of them just lived out their days, I have several aunties who that's how they ended their life. Like, they just essentially were sisters who in the end were spinsters to the grave, and a lot of women live together till their last dying days and are very happy to do so. So maybe in like the third half of my life, or the third portion of my life towards the end. But
double cuddle time, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I
But then again though, hypothetical Janae is pretty quiet.
That's true.
Another like fun thing the movie brought up was BDSM. We haven't really ventured into that world yet. Did it pique your curiosity?
You know, with me and BDSM, I feel like I want to save that to when I'm old. I think that once sex gets kind of dull and gets kind of not new and not fresh and not fun, then we could start playing with the BDSM, pulling out the outfits and doing that kind of things. But right now, it's kind of something that's like, I'm not against it, you know what I mean? But it's not something that I'm really like pressured into.
I kind of feel the same way. I do feel like there's still so much new that I experience in just the same old. A lot of things I can look at and be like, that looks like fun. Doesn't mean I'm going to do them yet.
So in the movie, Professor Marston, Elizabeth, and Olivia have children, and we're in a non-traditional relationship. How would you explain our situation to our kids?
I think that I would explain it by being honest, emphasizing love, emphasizing freedom of choice, and that love isn't linear, that not every single person is going to experience it the exact same way, and this is how your parents experience it. This is the loving and respectful way, and how we have chosen boundaries that celebrate us, and we want to encourage you to do the same. Obviously, you're going to wait until they're old enough to understand. And it's a revolving conversation. I think the same thing about sex with kids, period. It's an evolving conversation that starts the first time they ask, but you don't, sugarcoat the truth. You don't hide it from them, because it's like, I'm not ashamed. So why would I want my kids to carry any type of semblance of shame by me hiding the truth from them?
So what did you think about Professor Marston's disc theory?
I thought disc theory was fascinating. I wasn't expecting to learn. I actually had a notepad and a pen out in the theater writing it down. And I went home and researched it some more. So disc theory stands for dominance, inducement, submission, and compliance. And essentially it's a acronym for the power play that exists in the world and the different levels of dominance and submission. And inducement is what he was saying that everyone should aim for. It's when you are able to convince someone that your will is their will.
We don't really get to see relationships like this painted in a positive way. So I think that people who are in a non-traditional relationship are going to rejoice when they see this. People who are not into it, it's going to be able to shed light on it and be able to make it to where they understand. You know, it's half the battle is getting people to understand.
I think for anybody who's remotely nosy out there, it's the film for you. It really is an opportunity to get out your binoculars and to take a look into a home that you may not have thought that you would be inside of. But just to like really say, I wonder. And that's what the movie really is all about. You know, I wonder, what are the possibilities and what are the different ways that people can experience love, or I wonder how Wonder Woman was created. There's a lot of different things in there to take from that. You're gonna leave this movie wanting to talk. So if you're gonna go with your homies, make sure you guys plan dinner afterwards. If you're going with your partner, make sure that you guys are like awake and have enough time to talk. If you're going by yourself, come back to this video and write in the comment section, because that's one of the things I feel like I was kind of robbed of, because we got to see it. Thank you so much, the production company, for inviting us to a pre-screening, but I was robbed of seeing other people's reactions. That's one of the best part about going to the movies, is when it's finished, you're like, what are everyone else think? Like, how is everyone else responding? What are they saying right now? And I wanted to see if other people were also crying, but I didn't get to tell. But if you guys go to the movies, you can give me that experience back. So let us know in the comment section below what you thought. On the flip side, if you are in a polyamorous relationship or you know more about polyamory, as you can see, we're both still learning. We're both still just at the cusp of trying to understand. We would love to learn more, so please include any information you think would be useful, and let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I'm all the way down.
Yeah? Are you going to comment in the comment section?
Probably not, but I'll live vicariously through her.
I'll read them to you at bed.
Yeah.
And we could talk about it.
Exactly.
I get it, girl. Oh yeah, I get it, girl. Yeah, I get it, girl. Oh. And if you don't know, get it, girl. Oh. Yeah, I get it, girl.